Okay, this is for you, Captain Gong. Yeah. Last week we talked about the American Airlines 965. And you said, I'm kind of familiar with the story. I've heard that story or something like it before. Basically, the aircraft went off course. It got off course. Go, more direct. Get, kind of, where are we? More energy in this one. Because Jiri-san is not so natural anymore. It's got like lots of artificial things. Also, for Jiri-san, they've cut down so many trees. They removed a lot of trees. They've taken out a lot of the trees. Right. The best time to visit Jiri-san is in October, but unfortunately they built a large road that passes through the place. We also talked about the May 18th uprising, the Gwangju uprising, and you said at that time I was a lieutenant. Captain Gong, do you have any pictures from that time? Nowadays, we believe that that is the truth, but at that time, nobody believed it. Nobody thought that it was true. Okay, that's just a fact now. We're talking about the May 18th uprising. Now, another example is that the continents move or drift. But, nowadays, we believe that that's the truth. But at the time, what was that, 80, 90 years ago? I don't remember. Nobody thought that was the truth. Okay, our conversation's kind of getting off course. We need to get back on course. Okay, tohata, vomit, throw up, puke, barf. This is very, very, very informal for kids. Puke is kind of like, gross, puke. These two are both normal. I'm a good pilot, but today in the sim I was a little off, like making little mistakes, making small mistakes. Or, this clock is off. It's off by 5 minutes. It's off by a few minutes. It means not correct. The first officer, or they forgot to retract the speed brake, right? Both pilots had lost their situational awareness. They didn't know where they were. They didn't know their exact position. Oh man, I was having an off day today. Small problems, not very good performance. Day off is vacation. Tomorrow's my day off. I'm going to go on vacation. But, both of these I've heard both ways, so. Remember, CIDE means death, suicide, jasal. But we also talked about herbicide and pesticide. We talked about places, what's that island? Tungyang? They need to build an airport there. The pilots of American Airlines 965, they kind of lost their control. They let the aircraft get ahead of them. There were too many details and they couldn't manage them. Right. Lose control was really strong. He lost control. But things become too hectic, you let the schedule get ahead of you. My schedule is very busy. Usually I can manage it. But last week I had a personal problem and I let the schedule get ahead of me. I didn't properly manage my schedule. The pilots accepted the runway 19, and after that they were in a rush. All right. This is from the American Airlines 965 documentary. They should have slowed down. They shouldn't have been hurrying. Drink up, let's go. They should have returned to the minimum safe altitude. Woulda, coulda, shoulda is an expression for, nobody could change the past. Yeah, I know, but I can't change the past. I should have studied harder and gone to Harvard. Yeah, everybody should have done that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Are you asking how the briefings have changed compared to the past? Have the briefings changed over the years? Oh, Adam, are you asking how the briefings have changed over the past? 30 years ago, we didn't have briefings. Right? Nowadays, these days, lately, over the past few years, the briefings haven't changed. If we don't do the landing briefing, we can't descend. I think you said this sentence. There are a lot of good changes. He changed things for the better. He brought about a lot of changes. This is, we're talking about David Greenberg, I think. He brought in a lot of changes. During the Korean War, while in a verb. During the Korean War, my grandparents were in Busan. While the Korean War was taking place, while the Korean War was going on, most Americans weren't paying attention, for example. I think that for me, it's easier to fly with pilots that I know. It's easier to fly with pilots that I've flown with before. Oh, I'm not a mind reader, okay? I don't expect them to read my mind. Actually, in Korea, this is one of the most important job skills. I'm good at reading nonverbal communication, I know when my wife wants to sleep on the couch. Is there anybody that you have flown with many or several times? I try to be close. You said this. I'm aware of the power distance. I know about the power distance. But I try to be close and get to know the first officers. Right? Go off. Some alarms or some warnings go off 3 times. Boop, 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 boop.